When your cat looks at you across the room and slowly closes their eyes, do you actually know what just happened? Most people smile and think it's sweet. Maybe they blink back. Maybe they don't. Either way, life moves on. But that moment, that quiet, unhurried closing of the eyes, is one of the most deliberate things your cat will ever do in your presence. It's not accidental. It's not tiredness. And it is absolutely not random. Here's what nobody tells you. For a cat, closing their eyes in front of another living being goes against something hardwired, deep in their survival brain. And the fact that they do it anyway, specifically with you, means something most owners have never fully understood. If you've been blinking back without knowing why, this video will change how you see that moment forever. Let's start with what your cat's slow blink is actually saying. 1. The myth. My cat is just sleepy. Most people assume the slow blink is passive. Your cat is relaxed, maybe a little drowsy, and their eyes happen to close for a moment. It's sweet. It's cozy. It doesn't mean much beyond that. That assumption is completely wrong. Here's what's actually happening beneath that calm exterior. A cat's eyes are one of their most critical survival tools. In the wild, an open eye is a live eye, scanning, tracking, detecting movement, anticipating threat. Closing your eyes, even for a fraction of a second, creates a window of vulnerability. Predators exploit exactly those windows. So when your cat holds your gaze and then deliberately, slowly lets their eyelids fall and keeps them there, they are making a conscious choice to lower their guard in your presence. They are choosing, in that moment, to be vulnerable. That is not sleepiness. That is a decision. Think about that for a second. Every slow blink your cat has ever given you was a deliberate act, not a passive one. They were not drifting off. They were communicating something specific. And by the way, if your cat has ever slow blinked at you and then immediately looked away, don't brush that off. We'll get to what that combination actually signals toward the end, and it reveals something most owners completely misread. 2. What the science confirms in 2020. Researchers at the University of Sussex and the University of Portsmouth conducted the first formal scientific study, specifically examining slow blinking in domestic cats. What they found reshaped how animal behaviorists understand cat communication entirely. The study confirmed that cats slow blink intentionally, as a social signal, not reflexively, not randomly. Cats who received a slow blink from their owners were measurably more likely to slow blink back than cats who were simply observed with a neutral expression. The behavior was responsive. It was a genuine exchange. But here is the part of that research that most people never hear. The same study found that when cats received slow blinks from complete strangers, people they had never met, the behavior occurred significantly less often. And when it did occur, cats were less likely to approach the stranger afterward. The slow blink from a known, trusted person carried a fundamentally different social weight than the same gesture from an unknown one. What this tells us is that your cat is not simply performing a reflex when they slow blink at you. They are making a distinction. They know who you are. They have categorized you as safe at a neurological level. And the slow blink is how they show you that categorization in real time. Translate that out of the science, and here is what it means. Every time your cat slow blinks at you, they are confirming, deliberately, that you belong in the category of beings they have chosen to trust with their vulnerability. That is not a small thing. 3. The invisible signal. What their eyes are actually marking here is something almost no one considers when they think about the slow blink. Cats communicate ownership and safety through scent, but they also communicate through gaze. And the two systems are more connected than most people realize. In feline social structure, sustained eye contact between cats who do not trust each other is a threat display. Cats who are about to fight hold each other's gaze hard and unbroken. The stare is a challenge. It is territorial. It is aggressive. The slow blink is the deliberate dismantling of that signal. When your cat locks eyes with you and then softens their gaze into a slow blink, they are actively converting a threat posture into a peace signal. They are taking the most confrontational form of feline communication and transforming it into its opposite, in your direction specifically. Behavioral scientists describe this as an affiliative signal. It says, I see you. I am not challenging you. You are not a threat to me. You are safe. And what makes it even more powerful is that cats reserve this conversion almost exclusively for individuals they have already decided to trust. They do not offer the slow blink to beings they are still evaluating. The decision has already been made before the eyes close. You were not being assessed in that moment. You had already passed. Now before we go further, if this is changing how you see your cat, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat owners who want to truly understand what their cat is telling them. 4. Where this behavior comes from. To understand why the slow blink carries this much weight, you need to go back to where it originates. Kittens slow blink at their mothers. It is one of the earliest social behaviors they develop, a signal of comfort, satiation, and safety in the presence of the one being responsible for their survival. The closed eye in that context means, I am safe enough to lower my guard. You have made me feel that nothing here will hurt me. That behavior does not disappear when a cat grows up. It transfers. When a domestic cat forms a primary bond with a human, the neurological template for that bond is built on the same architecture as the maternal attachment from kittenhood. You become, in a very real biological sense, a continuation of that original safe figure. The slow blink they give you is the same slow blink they once gave the being that kept them alive when they were completely helpless. Think about what that means. Your cat is not just being friendly. They are reaching back into the oldest, most foundational emotional memory they have, the feeling of being completely safe, and they are placing you inside it. That is where the slow blink comes from. That is what it carries. 5. Why they only do it with you. You may have noticed that your cat slow blinks at you far more than they do at anyone else in your home. Visitors almost never receive it. Even people your cat tolerates and likes rarely get it with the same frequency or softness that you do. This is not coincidence. It is selectivity. And the selectivity is the message. Animal cognition research shows that cats form what are called asymmetric bonds, meaning their attachment to different individuals in their environment is not equal and is not meant to be. Cats choose a primary figure, one person who registers differently in their social brain than everyone else, and their slow blink behavior maps almost entirely onto that person. What this means practically is that if your cat slow blinks at you regularly, you are not one of several people they trust equally. You are the person their nervous system has designated as home base. The slow blink is not just affection. It is identification. It is your cat telling you, in the clearest signal their body has, out of everyone here, you are the one. They don't do this with strangers. They rarely do it with people they merely tolerate. They do it with you. That distinction is everything. 6. What most owners never realize about this moment. Remember earlier when I said that if your cat slow blinks and then immediately looks away, you should pay attention to that. This is what I was talking about. When a cat slow blinks and holds your gaze afterward, they are inviting continued connection. They are leaving the channel open. But when a cat slow blinks and then softly turns their head away, breaking the gaze deliberately, that is not disinterest. That is the highest form of the signal. In feline communication, turning away after a slow blink is the equivalent of saying, I trust you so completely that I don't even need to keep watching you. You are so safe to me that I can look away. Most owners interpret the look away as their cat losing interest. It is actually the opposite. It is the deepest expression of trust their body knows how to make. A cat who looks away from you is a cat who has decided, completely, that you require no monitoring. You are not a variable in their world. You are a constant. That quiet head turn after the slow blink, that is your cat telling you that you are the safest thing in their life. Most owners have received that signal dozens of times and never known what they were seeing. Now you do. So when your cat looks at you from across the room and slowly, deliberately closes their eyes, you now know what just happened. That was not tiredness. That was not accident. That was your cat making a choice that goes against 10,000 years of survival instinct, choosing to lower their guard, in your presence, on purpose. That is not sweetness. That is trust at its most complete. And that slow blink, the one they give almost no one else, it was never small to them. It was never small. It was them telling you, in the only language their body has, that you are the safest place they know. And now, when they do it again, and they will, you will know exactly what to do.